What's up, Slime? It's your boy, Codehova, iOS Hustling on iOS Hustla. We're moving on to the next topic, which is navigation hierarchies. Now that I have my new MacBook with this touch bar, I'm going to just press that key and bam, that shit is now highlighted because we're going to knock this motherfucker out the park. So, what is navigation hierarchy? And again, we go with documentation, man. Documentation is your best friend. In the beginning, when you're learning how to code, you might think that, damn, I don't understand what all this heebie-jeebie and blah, blah, blah is saying. But after you start, immersing yourself in development and you read more and more documentation, it's going to all start to make sense, all right? So when it comes to navigation, it's part of a human interface guideline. And human interface guidelines are the standards that Apple has pretty much created, or it's their recommendations for you when you are creating your app, that you create something that users would like to use. And if we read just the this intro paragraph, it says, people tend to be unaware of an app's navigation until it doesn't meet their expectations. Your job as a developer is to implement navigation in a way that supports the structure and purpose of your app without calling attention to itself. Navigation should feel natural and familiar and shouldn't dominate the interface or draw focus away from content. In iOS, there are three main styles of navigation. What we have, the first one is hierarchical, whatever the fuck that is, navigation. And it's where you make one choice per screen until you reach a destination. To go to another destination, you must retrace your steps or start over from the beginning and make different choices. Settings and Mail use this navigation style. So what that means is, let me pull out the simulator and we go to settings. So this is the hierarchical navigation. This is the main screen for settings. And if we press general, we're able to go back to settings by pressing this back button on the top left. But we could continuously drill down. May there be some shit that happens. I just crashed the simulator. I don't know why that happened. But let me just double click that and start all over. I will not use the legal drill down. This is just part of the game, man. I don't know why the simulator is bugging. It's definitely bugging. I'm just going to restart this bitch. Alright, we're back in effect. Let's go back into settings, because this is something that uses this hierarchical navigation. So like we're drilling down, you're able to continuously drill down. But with this hierarchy navigation, we're able to continuously go back to where we started. Okay? So that's what it means. And when you're creating iPhone apps, man, you just got to create apps the way that you're familiar with using the iPhone. Because just like it says, you just need to create an app navigation that people use effortlessly. If they have to question themselves of, how do I get to this screen? How do I get to that screen? You done fucked up. So don't try to be clever. Just create shit that is natural and familiar with users and yourself. Okay, so that's hierarchical navigation. Flat navigation is like the music app in the App Store. All right, and what that means is, let's actually go there. So App Store is not here. Son of a bitch. I think photos would apply, because we have 4 different screens on the Photos app. But not only that, there is a hierarchy navigation on the top. So if we just go here, boom, this Photos, the starting page is this years. But if you want to go to Memories, you just need to go to the Memories screen by hitting the Memories tab. You got Shared, you got Albums. So these are 4 different screens that's put into one, where users can control where they want to be. All right. So each of these tabs, they have screens, and each of these screens, this single screen could be this whole structure right here. So that would So the Photos app is a hybrid. It's a flat navigation with a hierarchy on each single tab. Okay? Because boom, when we're in, you see, this is a hierarchy. This is a navigation hierarchy that's in the albums screen. And we could drill in, but then we could also go back. All right. So then we have something like content-driven or experience-driven navigation. This one's a lot more convoluted, but you would come across to things like this. This is something that you see in Instagram. Like definitely Instagram, we have the main tabs on the bottom with each of the tabs having their own hierarchy. But in terms of like if you are on someone's page or someone's stories and then you click on their profile, it's gonna go to their profile. It's gonna show you something else. If you're like if you click on a sponsored ad and it takes you to a web page, it's gonna show you something else. There's different ways of you have to definitely follow the hierarchy and the flat navigation for 80%, but 20% there might be some specialization that you're gonna do. Be it, try to get someone's credit card information, show them a web page, handle a different view when you interact with the push notification. There's just different cases where you want to customize your app's architecture. So just going over the main points of Apple, their HIG, Human Interface Guidelines, you're always going to want to provide a clear path. You're going to want to create an app that's effortless to use, simple. People will get to understand exactly what to do just by looking at the way the app looks. All right. Design an information structure that makes it easy and fast to get to content. Like, you're not going to want people to type in shit and like, you don't want to have an app, a news app, right, where it shows no content and you have to type in something to see something. All right. From the beginning, if you don't have any information from the user, you're going to want to show some default hot news, right? That's how it goes. Use touch gestures to create fluidity. All right. So it's like the way that we use buttons. Make it the way that people normally use buttons. Don't make users have to hold 5 seconds on a button for it to be activated. That's just stupid. All right. And it's use standard navigation components. I don't think that deserves any explanation. Use navigation bars to be able to traverse a hierarchy of data. So it's like, imagine how hard the settings app would be if you're down on this screen and you had to go down and you had to press back to home, right? Every iPhone user knows that they could click on the top left to go back. And use a tab bar to present clear categories of content and functionality. So just like our good friend Photos app has these tabs that you could easily get to the main parts of the app. Okay. And use page control when you have multiple pages of the same type of content. So we'll deep dive. We'll do deep dives into building apps, and we're gonna use navigation bars. We're gonna use tab bars. But that is the overview of the navigation hierarchies that we should be using when developing iOS apps. All right, it's your boy Codehova, Fly Combinator. We're iOS hustling by being iOS hustlers. All right. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have live streams. Ask me anything. All right? Peace.